Already Rusty's Crypto Cave here. Out with another update. We got a nice 91-degree day here in Pennsylvania. Actually, I think the AC unit in my house is louder than the shed, but we'll check things out. Well, maybe not. It's a little loud in here. On the exhaust side, we got 108 up there, 105 right there, 101. 102 right there, 98, 99 on that little intake. And we got power consumption, 5,500 watts for the two ASICs. That was right around, the BMK3 is right around 2,020 watts or so. So you can say 2,100, so the S19 is probably pulling around 3,400 watts-ish or so. Still on the 110 terahash mode. The Lane K3 is still on low power mode. It's the most efficient. It's still barely profitable, but everything else is running good. It is definitely warm in here, but I did have to remove the filters and stuff. I didn't do it on the bottom row. I may just pull the gable vents off and leave the filters there. We'll see. There's definitely airflow here. I do need to add more intakes. So my thought process was I could probably squeeze another one in if I cut here and here, slide this one all the way down to be right on top of that one, then that one would end about here, and then the next one would probably fit in between. Worst case, I may have to move this one up a little bit, but I should be able to fit another row in there. I have to measure everything out. But I figured I could start at the bottom and just put them right on top of one another going all the way up. And I could put basically like a 2x4 or a 2x3 in between to connect these two, because all the guts in the middle will be cut out. I should have probably measured things out better when I first set everything up. I could probably squeeze stuff in here, but it's really not going to do a whole lot as far as getting airflow over the rigs. It's just going to come right by and pretty much go right out. So I don't know how much that would really help. So I think it might be more beneficial to squeeze another row in here. But that's just a thought, just an idea. See what happens. But oh, and I also need to fire up this bad boy. S19J Pro Plus 120 terahash model. It does have the Logic board on it, which I'm kind of disappointed in, but I figured that's what was going to happen. So I'll have to make sure I can put like a Xilinx board on it so I could install Brains OS. With all the fans ramped up though, I have to move some rigs around on the PDUs, but I got about 1,000 watts I can move over to this one, which would leave me right around 2,000 watts or so on this one, which means I would probably have to run that S19 on low power mode, unless I figure some things out and move some other stuff around. I might maybe move some of the mini Dojas and the KD box in the house. That'll be like another 400 watts I could free up. Jazz miner I could probably move inside somewhere, but that thing is loud and whines, so I'd probably prefer to keep that one out here. But that's one thing I just got to figure out as far as getting the power situation sorted, and figure out where I can put this, because I was probably going to put the S19 right here so it basically vents directly into the fan. So I don't have the what's his face, the shrouds and stuff like that and the vent hoods to exhaust it out yet. Okay, I was just double checking. I didn't really remember that being back that far, but I guess it was. But we are definitely running all right. So the catch back up when I figure out where I'm going to put this S19 and get some rigs moved around, and we'll see us then. Alright, he's still in the shed here, just figuring out the whole power situation. This is the PDU. I need to move some, at least one rig to, and which was going to be this one, which is on flux. We're using about 1,000 watts or so. But the issue I'm running into, there's no more open C19s on that PDU, and I only have 3 C14, C13 cables left. I thought I had more in the house, but I do not. So getting the S19 up and running is not going to happen today. I guess I should have looked into that before I did everything, but because I have 3 extra cable, C14, 13 cables here, I'm going to need 2 for that, and then 4 for the Octominer. I could probably get away with 2 or 3, but then I'm still not going to have enough to hook up the S19. So I guess time to hop on Amazon and put an order in. Oh, and the other thing, when I was out here, as you notice, the controller 69 is no longer there. It's right here. Stupid thing powered down basically and went down to like complete 0, and then gradually ramped back up like 3 times since I've been in here. So I was like, oh, we're done with that. So I hooked up the manual controller, just have it mounted on the wall, just have it cranking at a speed of 10 the whole time. So I figure it's gonna be in the 80s for the next how long, so I might as well just keep her cranking. I do have a Bluetooth controller, but I figured, yeah, whatever. I'll just keep her running at full bore. Because even at full bore, Rabbit and Panda tested these, they're pulling about 168, 170 watts, which isn't bad at all. Which I'm sure is less than the 4 Delta fans that normally come on it anyway, so. And it's nowhere near as loud. But yeah, so for today, that's probably gonna be it as far as moving things around, because I don't have the cables to do it, so that's not gonna happen. I might come around here and measure exactly how tall 4 vents stacked on top of one another in each column would be, and see if I'd have to cut a little bit higher here. But I know I'd be cutting the guts out here, sliding it down right on top of it, cutting this out here, sliding that down right on top of it. So it's basically vent, 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 vent. Maybe if I get another row in, and just increase the airflow. That seems like it's the main issue, is getting the airflow in. Because I would think the temperature on this intake wall should be really close to what the outside temperature is. And it is 92 right now. That's 7 degrees higher. I'd like to get that a little lower. And get these temps a little lower, and those. But I can still, these are actually, all 4 of these fans are cranking at a speed of 9 right now, so I could crank them up to 10, but I'd just rather have some more headroom. I want to have more headroom in case it gets really, really hot. Because there have been days that it gets over 100 in Pennsylvania, so that's still another 10 degrees Fahrenheit warmer, and I just want to make sure I'm prepared and don't have any issues. But so I think definitely more intake vents will definitely help. On these really hot days, I'm going to run them without the filters, but as the temps drop, I'll put the filters back on. Because the pollen is still bad, but not as bad as it was. But so I may have to come in here and do some rig cleaning. As you can see, it's a nice little pollen on there. And also on the top of the Octos. So I'll have to come in here with my blower and blow everything out. Clean her up a bit. Oh yeah, jazz miners this. But I had some dust on it too when I was in the basement. I don't know, you think I cleaned it up that well. But for the time being, she's going to be sitting here for a bit. And probably only a day or two. We could probably find a seller on Amazon that can get me the cables here next day. Because I think most of the cables I've been ordering are the 14 gauge trip lights, just to get them a little heavier duty, just to have the headroom for power draw. So until the next one, we'll catch us later.